Hello everybody, it's Stephen here for the Idiot Quilter and welcome to my weekly episode, and this is episode number 142 for November the 23rd, 2021. So what have I been up to? Well, I finally finished the steam engine fall quilt. That's what I call it. That's the one with the panels of the old-fashioned steam engines, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out after I got it quilted. I did a pantograph design on it. I did one that I've used before on another quilt, which looks like a stylized oak leaves. So I'll show you what that looks like right now. So I've shown you this quilt before just as the top, but now it's completely finished. And this is what I call my steam engine fall quilt. And this was made from a panel. The pictures of the steam engines in the center of it all came from a panel. I cut them, and it was done from a pattern as well. And I had most of the fabric, or I ordered most of the fabric that the pattern called for. There was just one piece where I couldn't actually get the right fabric, but I found a substitute for it. So I've got it all quilted, it's all layered, it's all bound, it's all done. And I think it's looking pretty good. And so I'm going to swap out my Halloween quilt on my couch upstairs and swap in this quilt. So I've been working on a whole variety of different things in this past week. It's been a busy week for creating. So this is going to be a bit of a mishmash of what I have to show. So I've just showed you the quilt. That's all done. It's sitting on the back of my couch in my family room at the moment, soon to be replaced by my Christmas quilts. And I have a lot of Christmas things that I've made over the last few years. So come next week, I'll be digging those all out of the crawl space, trying to organize them and decide where they're all going to go this year. In fact, I got thinking the other day, what do I have? And I remembered that I did an Idiot Quilter episode last year showing my Christmas stuff. And so I went and looked up that video, and yeah, I've got a lot of stuff, and I've added to it this year as well. I need a bigger house. But anyways, more to come on that in a future episode. So I have been making more Christmas things. I thought I was done. I mean, I've been working on my Christmas presents and things since August, and I thought that was all over with. Well, no, then I see something else that I have to have that I want to make, and so it just goes on and on and on. But the latest thing has been these Christmas coasters. Now, these are really simple and fast to make. I learned how to make these on one of the Zoom meetings that I had with the Quilter's Way, which is my online group that I belong to. It's a membership group. You've heard me talk about it many times before. And if you're not a member and you're a serious quilter, you should join. It's well worth the money. And you can find it online. Just look up the Quilter's Way or Chatterbox Quilts, and you'll find a link there that'll take you right to it. I think you can get a 7-day free trial as well to check it out, but it is a great group, and there's so much to be learned. But anyways, Kim Jameson Hurst, the owner-operator, Quilter Supreme of the Quilter's Way, showed us how to make these. And essentially, it's a charm pack of squares. You need, two of these that, no, you need two? You need four. You need 4 5-inch squares. As I said, a charm square pack works really well. And you just fold them in half, lay them down on here. There's a method for doing that. And sew it up, turn it inside out, sew it up. I'm not explaining this very well. Anyways, it takes maybe 10 minutes to make if you've got a charm pack. Really fast, really easy, and you have these little coasters. And there's a couple of designs. I only made the ones that have like the 4 patch, but you can make them with triangles as well, which looks quite nice. So I'm making these coasters as Christmas gifts, put in the little Christmas bags I'm putting together for various people. And I decided to upgrade these a little bit by doing a little embroidery on both of them as well. So I did this snowflake design, and they're reversible. Bonus. So yeah, these are a lot of fun to make, really quick. And so if you're looking for a last minute quickie gift, a host or hostess gift or something like that, put a little ribbon around a couple of these or 4 of these, and put it in a bag with a bottle of wine and you've got a little gift. So I've done those. And what else have I been making? Yeah, okay, so I haven't really, I'm still not sure if I'm actually going to do this project or not, but I thought I'd show it to you because these are very fascinating things, and I think you've probably heard of them before. Now, later in today's episode, I am going to talk more extensively about these things called Thangles, which are basically strips of paper in various sizes to help you quickly make and very accurately make half square triangles. There's a glare on this, I know, I'm sorry. But they're not just for that. They do come in kits where you can make a quilt using those. And this one I thought's really really cute. And I've had this one for quite a while. So I got it out the other day to try one of the blocks. And this is a mama cat and a baby cat. And I love cats. And really easy to do with these Thangles. So I'll show you. I made one block. Actually, I made another block, but I didn't pick my colors right, and so you really need contrasting colors in order to see these outlines. But there's one block. They go together fairly fast, and you just make a series of these, and you've got a quilt. And as I said, use Thangles for this. Now, do you need to use Thangles for it? Well, it does make the process a little bit easier because these mama cat head and baby, get my hand off it, baby cat head, if you notice the ears, they are not equal. Those are not half square triangles that are in those. So, you know, like you could do it without using the Thangles, but the Thangles makes it so much easier to get it accurate. So am I going to do this quilt? Maybe at some point in time. I have other projects in the meantime for that. So as I said, a little bit later on today in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about Thangles. So take me to my notes here to see what's next, keep myself on track. So those are the current projects that I've been working on. And what's happening now? Well, I told you that I was having a problem with the thread cutter on my embroidery machine. Now, when I say thread cutter on an embroidery machine, I mean it's built into it and automatically cuts both your top and your bobbin thread when you do a color change or, you know, within a pattern. And when that's not working, that's not good. So I took it over to Ultimate Sewing. And Roy, the technician, he fixed it all up. He sharpened the blade. If you remember, I kind of took it apart and it still didn't work. So he fixed it up. I had the machine all cleaned and everything and whatnot. And I got it back home and I started a project on it. And for one little project I did, the thread cutter was working the way it's supposed to work. And then it stopped. Just stopped. I don't know why. I've done a couple of other projects on it. At one point, I thought maybe it was built into the design of the particular project I was working on. It wasn't thread cutting between, you know, color changes and with jump threads. But nope, I did another project. Now, you can do your projects without having a thread cutter work, but it's a pain in the butt because you've got to cut your top thread. And you've got to cut your bobbin thread, because if you do not, when you move to another color change, there is a good chance that that's going to create tension on the thread. It's going to get tangled up underneath and it's going to pull your whole project out of the hoop and then you're screwed. And ask me how I know. Yeah. So I went into the settings and made sure that everything was turned on the way it should be. And yes, they were. But there is one little problem. One of the settings doesn't want to stay on, which I don't know why. And it's one of the features of the cutting. So today I'm going off to do my Lone Star class at Ultimate Sewing. And I'm taking the machine in with me. And I'm going to have Shirley try it out so she can see for herself. And then hopefully get it fixed. I'm not a happy camper about this. I find it surprising that this has happened because Roy's very good. So I have no idea why this suddenly he fixed it. And like I said, on one project it worked fine, but not again. And it won't even cut thread when you push the scissor button on the machine. And you should hear it inside going, and it's not doing a, so that's not good. So we'll see what Shirley can do for me. Well, I know Shirley will get it fixed and everything. It's just a question of how long will my machine be down. I mean, I'm not doing any major projects on the machine right now, so I can live without it for a week or so. But I don't want to live without it for a week. I'm an impatient person. If something, goes on me, I want it fixed. I want it fixed now. But, I have to be patient. So anyways, I'll let you know next week what's happening with that. It goes back to me in machines again. I look at a machine, it decides it doesn't like me, and it's not going to cooperate. Yep. Okay, so I did a little shopping this week. Well, back it up. About middle of October, I ordered 2 rolls of 80/20 Hobbs batting, wide back. I ordered it from a place that's maybe 45 minutes away from us. They were having a really, really good sale. $259 for a roll, a 30-yard roll of 120-inch Hobbs 80/20 batting. That is a real good price. That is better than the price Dinky Doo puts out, and I won't deal with Dinky Doo again. Dinky Doo to me is a dinky dote. I know I'm going to get hate mail on this because I know there are people out there that absolutely love Dinky Doo. But Dinky Doo has these pre-order sales as well, but they want it like 300 and something, about $100 more for for the same thing that I'm getting for $259. Plus I had to pay shipping on that as well. And also Dinky Doo said it was going to be in by a certain date. It didn't. It was 2 to 3 weeks late. I wrote to them. They gave me excuses about this. I just wasn't pleased with that company at all. So when I had the chance to get it at even a cheaper price from a very reputable company, because I've dealt with them before out here, and I didn't have to pay shipping on it because Walter and I could go and pick it up. It was within driving distance, not a big deal. So that was great. Well, they said it would be in about November the 15th. Now, it was a pre-order. Things happen. I understand that. But yep, November 15th, I got an email saying it was in. I could come and pick it up whenever I wanted to. So off we went. Now, on the way there, Walter, my enabler, he says, that's a really good price. Maybe you should see if they have more of it in stock at that price, and maybe you should buy another roll or 2. At first, I thought about it. Well, that's another $500. I mean, I already paid for this one, but it came out with tax about $519 or something like that. But he was right. I may not get a chance to get this price on this particular batting again for a while. So maybe I should, because it's not like it's going to go, it's going to be a waste because I am going to use it. So when we got there to the store, I said, by the way, do you have more of that? And they said, yes. And I said, I'd like 2 more rolls, please. Ka-ching. And while I was there, I thought, well, they have a really good selection of wide back fabric, backing fabric. So I picked up about 4 different kinds of that. Now, those their fabric, the wide back fabric, runs between $28 to $32 a meter, and I like to buy 3 meters of a specific fabric. So I bought 12 meters, 4 different fabrics, 3 meters a piece. And then they have pantographs, and I thought, ooh, that's a good selection. So I picked up a bunch of those, and I picked up 20 spools of glide thread, which was a really good price too. So I have a haul to show you. And yeah, this haul represents, I spent $1,253. That includes the tax while I was there. All I was going to do is pick up a couple of pre-ordered rolls of batting. One thing leads to another. So I'll put that little video of the haul here for you. So about in October, there was a special came up from Coworth Quilting, which is a quilt store company, long arm provider, not that far away from me, about half an hour's drive, 40 minutes drive, and they had a special on batting. Uh, they had a 30-yard roll of 120-inch batting on sale for $259 a roll, which is really good price. So I pre-ordered 2 of those rolls, and they arrived this past week. So we went up to pick them up because they would have shipped it, but I would have paid extra for that, and it's not that far away to go and pick them up. So we did. And while I was there, I got thinking, it's such a good price, and they still had the price on, and they still had batting in stock. So I purchased 2 more rolls. So I have 120 yards right here in front of me of batting. And that should do me for a while. Plus, I still have my other 30-yard roll that came from Dinky Doo, and I haven't been through all of it yet. So I'm well supplied with batting. Now, I know a lot of people will order batting from Dinky Doo, but they're out in BC, and you pre-order it, but their price on a pre-order right now is $399 for 1 roll, the exact same batting. It's Hobbs batting. It's 80/20. It's 120 inches wide. It's a 30-yard roll. So that's $399 that they want. That's almost $150 more per roll than what I paid for this. So now you can understand why I thought I should buy a couple of more. And while I was there, they have a great selection of wide back fabric, probably the best selection in the area of that in terms of variety. So I picked up 4 3-meter cuts of backing. They averaged about $29 a meter. So right there, I've got 3, 12, well, there's quite a bit. You do the math. And then while I was there, they also sell glide thread, which is the thread I use on my long arm. And I was starting to go through their collection. They had a good assortment. And then I saw these pre-made kits, and they were set up for the seasons, some of them, and then by months. And they have 10 spools of 1,000 meters of glide thread in each one. So they were $63.99, so $64 a box. So I was saving a little bit because if to buy the rolls individually, they're $6.99. So I saved about $7 on each box. But they were colors I didn't have. Now there is 2 colors between these 2 boxes, so there's 20 rolls of thread here that are duplicates that I already own, but they're in colors that I probably will use quite a bit, so I didn't mind that. Then you can see I bought some pantographs, and this was a thought. I didn't even think about them having pantographs, and then I saw a big box of them, so I went through and I picked up 4 of those, and they were about $21.99 a piece. But I did get one with some interesting feathers on it and some other interesting lines as well. So I can add those to my collection. And then I saw this thing called the Twister Sister, which I think I will show in a future video when I figure out how to use it. It's a special ruler for making, and you can see them here in the corner. Let's see if I can, oops, sorry, flipped over. See if I can bring this in a little closer. Yeah, it's called Twister, and it makes these shapes. It's a ruler for cutting those. And I have seen different projects that have used this ruler before, and always thought it was kind of interesting. And it wasn't a bad price. It was only $15 for that. I say only. When you've spent this much money at that point, does it matter? So I picked that up as well. And there you can see the designs of the pantographs I got a little bit more clearly, and the fabric and the threads. So all of this together, including tax, was $1,253 and some odd cents. Yeah, major purpose. But I felt that I got a good deal on it, especially on the batting. And can you ever have too much batting as a quilter? I don't think so. So while I was at Coworth Quilting, I picked up this little tool. You've probably seen this before. It's called the Little Twister. They come in different sizes. This is the one that works with 5-inch squares. And this was an impulse buy, but I had seen or heard about these before, and it makes this pattern you see right down here. So the other day, I decided to try it out, and they have a simple little pattern in there so you can get used to using it, and I created this. And you can see the pattern that the little twister does right in here. See the blue and see the white at the top if you look closely. Not the best color choice. I needed better contrast in the fabrics that I picked, because then it would have shown up better. But anyways, I made this, and I don't know what this is. It's a little big for placemat, so I guess it's a table topper, because I went through and finished it all, and I quilted it, just did stitch in the ditch, fabric on the back. And I'll put this in my pile of possible gifts in the future for people, I think, or whatever. Maybe I'll find a use for it here. But this little tool, there's all kinds of patterns they have for full-size quilts where you can use this tool. And this little tool comes in different sizes. So let me show you on screen what I'm talking about. I'll just switch over here. So here's the website. It's called twistersistersdesigns.com. And you can buy this on here, but you can probably also buy it in your local quilt store or, in other spots as well. Now, this is an American company, so it says there it's $11, so that's $11 American. And it shows you what I just showed you on the package. But there are all kinds of different sizes you can get. This one is called the Little Twister, as I said, and it cuts up scraps into 5-inch squares, or you use 5-inch squares, and then it's really easy to use. So here's an example of some of their projects that you can use this ruler, or it's not really a ruler, it's more of a template that you can also purchase and buy. And they've got quite a few different designs. And I think I will probably come back and make one. Actually, I'm really interested in the pillows because I need some new pillow slips for my cushions in my rec room. So I might purchase that. And I think their patterns are only about $9 American, and you can download them. So, or you can get a paper version of it. So you see, there's quite a few different designs. And as I said, there are several different sizes. Let me see if I can go back here and show you the listing of the sizes. Yeah, here we go. They have the itty bitty for 2.5 inch squares, or a mini charm pack. There's tiny, which is 3.5 inch, mini 2.5 strips, or 4.5 inch strips. The one that I have, the little one, midi for 6.5, and then they have a big one for 10-inch squares. So there's quite a variety of these available. So they're kind of fun to use, and yeah, I'll show you in future time maybe some projects that I have done with those as well. So the next thing, though, which is very timely, I didn't know this. This is what they call a serendipitous moment. And I had seen this kit online from a Canadian company called Cottage Treasures. They're out in BC. And I thought it was really, really cute. And you know how I like gnomes, okay? Christmas gnomes especially. So I picked this up, or I ordered it, and I got it a week or so ago. I haven't opened it up to use it yet. But you notice, look at these things along the side right up here. Well, let me go to their website so you have a little better look at it. So here's what I'm talking about here. This is what it looks like. And these right here are little twisters. They're from that template that I've already shown you. I didn't realize that when I bought it, because at the time I didn't have the little twister template. And I've noticed now at the bottom of this, it says on the package, it says kit does not include little twister tool. How fortunate. I got the little twister tool. And like I said, it was an impulse buy. So I'm going to get on with this. I don't know if I'll have it done before Christmas or not. We'll see. but I thought it was just kind of fun. It's $39.97 Canadian, plus there was shipping. Shipping wasn't bad. I forget what it cost. I think it all came to, with tax and shipping, $50 for it. But it is a kit. It's not just the pattern. So yeah, here they tell you what it includes. There's a how-to video. It even has includes free motion quilting finishing options. It just doesn't include that little ruler that you need for it. So keep that in mind. You need the little twister ruler as well for this. So I'm going to get on with that very, very soon, and I'll show you the end result whenever that occurs. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff. But wait, there's more. And this, I'm going to return to my whole discussion about using Thangles. And as I said, Thangles are basically pieces of paper that you lay down on top of usually strips of fabric, and you just sew on the lines, cut on the lines, and you have perfectly made half square triangles. I don't use them a lot, but if I have to make a lot of half square triangles, like 100 or more, something like that, then I will use this method because it is fairly fast and your half square triangles come out very accurate. So I'm going to insert a video right here which explains this in a little bit more detail. I don't know about you, but when I have to do a project that takes a lot of half square triangles, I can find that really tedious. And when I say a lot, I'm not just talking about one or two. I'm talking about maybe having to make 20, 25, 50, 100 or more. And so is there a fast way to do that? Well, there are many ways to make half square triangles, but one method I like to use, which gives me very accurate half square triangles and at the same time allows me to make a lot of them very quickly, are these things called Thangles. Thangles are basically a piece of paper that, well, they sort of look like this. Not sort of, they do look like this, whereby you lay two pieces of fabric front sides together, good sides together, put this on top, put a pin in, and then sew along the dotted line. And then you cut. After you've got them sewn, you cut on the solid line, and you have perfectly sized half square triangles with whatever size you need. Now this particular package is for making ones that finish at 2.5 inches, but they come in various sizes. So I thought I'd take you to their website because they explain it a little bit better there than I am right now. So I'm just going to switch over to their screen, and here's their website, Thangles, and you can find them at thangles.com, and I'll put the link in the show notes below. And here they show you under the learning category exactly what they look like. So if they say 2, they're 2-inch finished, and it makes it from 2.5-inch strips. And as I said, they come in various sizes, and we'll check that out in a minute. It talks here about how to make the Thangles, how to use them, and they have a video tutorial. So you can go to their video page just by clicking on the link, and we'll go there and take a look at this. And it says, go to 5 minutes, 45 seconds in the video to see the quarter square demonstration. So 5 minutes, 45 seconds. Let's check that out. Let's see, 5 minutes, 45 seconds.
This makes block construction fast and easy. Normally when you make blocks, you'd have to make your half square triangles separately from the squares because of the 7/8 rule. Thangles gets rid of that, so you can now make all the pieces of the block from the same set of strips. See how the half square triangle ends up the same size as the strip it's made from? That means you can use that same strip to make the square parts of the block and the half square triangles.
Okay, so it looks like they're talking about one of the more advanced features of using Thangles. Let's just go right to the very beginning and see what they have to say.
Thangles are very economical to use. They're only $5 a pack, regardless of size. And one pack will generally make a full-size quilt, depending somewhat on the pattern. Thangles come in sizes from 1/2 inch to 6 inch finished. The size of Thangles refers to the finished size, which means after the quilt is sewn together. In this case, a 2-inch finished half square triangle is 2.5 inches before it's sewn together.
Okay, so you can see here that they have some very helpful videos showing you how to use the Thangles. I really do love this product, especially when I'm making a lot of half square triangles. They also have patterns for making other quickie quilts. For example, the cat one I showed you earlier is made from a package of these Thangles that have been specially designed. Well, not really specially designed, but have included a pattern for making the blocks for that particular quilt. They're kind of fun to use. They're really simple. And if you have problems making accurate half square triangles, this is a product that I think you should really consider. So that's Thangles. And yeah, I highly recommend them. So that's really all I have to show you in terms of products and demos and things like that. So let's turn our attention to a quilt submitted by Jean Eubanks, a regular viewer, subscriber to the Idiot Quilter. And we've seen some of Jean's really lovely work before. And here is another one of her creations. This week's quilt of the week comes from a subscriber that we're all very familiar with, Jeannie Eubanks, and she has sent us some of her beautiful creations before, and this is another one in that series. And she says, "This is a quilt I made for Andy's granddaughter. Andy is her sister. It was my first mitered corners border. It also gave me practice in making fold-it, flip and sew corners." So let's take a closer look at this. I love the color scheme on this. It looks like it's made with batiks, which are really nice, but purple, rented lips here, purple seems to be the dominant color, which is one of the colors that I really like as well. Just taking a look here to see what she did for quilting. It's a little bit difficult to see in this picture, but I'm sure she did something that's probably very simple because she wanted her patterning or her piecing to stand out. And it is very unique piecing. And she says it is flip and sew corners, which are these up here. So it's very, very lovely quilt. And I'm sure Andy's granddaughter really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Jeannie, for sending that to us. And so if you'd like to have your creations featured here, just send them to me. I think I'm running out. I may have one more for next week, and then I don't have any. So please send me more. And if you've sent me some before and you've got more, please, I don't mind repeat performances. That is just fine with me. So that takes us to the YouTube channel of the week, and this is called The Simple Quilter Michelle Fox. And, well, let's check it out. This week's YouTube channel is called The Simple Quilter by Michelle Fox. And I stumbled upon this lady a couple of weeks ago, and I've been watching some of her videos, and they're really quite interesting. She has a wide variety of things to choose from that have to do with quilting. So you can see here on the home page of her YouTube channel, things like how to finish your quilt UFOs, how to piece fabric for the back of your quilt, unboxing my new Juki, how to apply binding with your sewing machine, etc. There's quite a few different ones. If we take a look at her playlists, we'll see how she has these grouped. She has quilting with half square triangles, so various ways to use half square triangles to create some original ideas and projects. She has a projects page. She has panel quilts, which lately I have been into. Videos for beginners. So she appeals to quilters at all levels. Quilt room organization, which is probably a good thing to watch as well. I always enjoy those kind of videos. So if you want some really great tips and tricks and some inspiration, check out The Simple Quilter by Michelle Fox. So what's on my vision board that I want to tackle at some point in the near future? Well, last week I showed you the sewing quilt that is an in the hoop quilt. It's, an embroidered quilt basically. Well, I told you then that they had a BOGO sale, and I got you buy one get one free. So I did get a free one, and it's called Family Alphabet It's on the same line as a sewing quilt. You embroider the blocks and then put it all together. And I think it's kind of cute. It's one of those projects for down the road. Who knows when I'm going to get to it, but I'm going to talk more about it through this little video clip that I've created. A pattern that's on my vision board for a future project is this one that I downloaded from Embroidery Online. Yes, it is an in-the-hoop quilt, sort of. You make these various tiles. It's called Family Alphabet by Krista Hamrick. And when I purchased this, I actually got this for free because they were running a BOGO special on this site. And last week I showed you the quilt called Sewing Quilt. That was the one that I actually purchased for $49.99, and I got this one for free. And you can see I saved another $50 US with this. I also got an additional little package of embroidery files thrown in for free. So it was really quite a good bargain, a good sale at the time. So this one is one that caught my fancy as well. And it's a little different from what I usually kind of do. It's got kind of an antique look to it, but it has all the letters of the alphabet which have words attached to them that have to do with family. I thought it might be an interesting quilt to make. I'm not that fond of the colors that they've used here, but that's okay. I can change those out once I get working on it. Now, these kind of projects do take a long time because you're doing each block embroidered and then you have to put them together. And it's not a difficult project to put together because you just put sashing between each piece and then quilt it as you would quilt any quilt. Now, when I say that, I probably won't do edge-to-edge quilting on this. I will probably do in the ditch around each block and then do something else a little bit more fancy in the borders. Now, when will I get to this project? I have no idea, but I got it for nothing, so what the heck, eh? So if you haven't seen it already, I put up last week the Idiot Quilter Presents Musings. My topic was, should I sell my quilts? Because they're piling up. And in fact, Walter and I did sort of a companion piece to my musings where we went into a lot of detail about starting up a business. Now, I'll just tell you right on the onset that we are not starting a business, but we explained why that is, why the idea is somewhat appealing, but is also not so appealing. And that's in this past week's So Chatty. So if you haven't checked out the Idiot Quilter's Musings or the So Chatty, the links are below to find out all of my thoughts or our thoughts about starting up a sewing business. Okay, so that takes me to one of my quilts, and it's going to be a Christmas one that I'm going to critique. And this was a Christmas bed runner I made for my mother when she was in the nursing home to dress up her room a little bit. And yeah, here are the trials and tribulations of this particular project. The quilt this week that I'm going to critique, that is one that I made, is not actually a quilt, but it is a bed runner. And I made this Christmas bed runner for my mother when she was in the nursing home, just to spruce up her room a little bit, make it very Christmassy. Now, this was done from scraps. It's my own design, and basically I just stuck to using some strips. I do believe at the time I had a jelly roll of Christmas strips, and I had used many of these in other projects, and these were the leftovers. So I thought I'd put them together in this small bed runner. So I did, and then I thought I'd get a little fancy because I was experimenting with my decorative stitches on my sewing machine. So I added a strip on top of this, which I appliqued to the bed runner with just some very decorative designs that I thought showed what Christmas, sort of a Christmassy theme. And I'm not sure what they are because the picture can't blow it up very well for this. I'd actually show you the real thing in person, except it's in my crawl space because now I'm using it as a decoration at Christmas time in my own house now that my mother has passed on. So it was a simple little project, and I think it just made her room a little bit more festive at the time, and now it's part of my festive decor. To criticize it, what can I say? It turned out pretty good. I'm not sure if I should have really put that strip of decorative stitching across the middle of it. I think that takes a little bit away from it. But as I look at this, I think the reason I did, now that I look at it, is because I did 2 strip sets of those jelly roll strips, and I don't think I was able to match up the seams very well on it. So it would have looked a little crooked. So I think what I tried to do was disguise it by putting this decorative stitch piece across it. And you can see what I mean. If you look here, you see this one does not line up. This doesn't line up. This was a project I made very early in my quilting journey, so you'll just have to excuse that mistake. But nevertheless, it's still festive. It looks nice on a wall as a decoration. And so that takes me to the quilt store online for the week, and this is called Upper Canada Quilt / Quiltworks Studio, which is here in Ontario. And yeah, here's my review. This week's online quilt store is called Quiltworks Studio, and I know nothing about this particular store, so I'm going to judge everything by what I see on their website. So we start off, they have Quilt Workshop, Block of the Month, Quiltworks Studio online courses, About Us, videos, and checkout. So let's just look at the first page and see what we have listed here. And we have some pictures. Upper Canada Quiltworks online shop, and the same menu below here. Okay, and a contact. They have a newsletter as well. So let's get right into shopping and go to their online shop and see what we have here to pick from. And it's taking a little bit of time to load. There it is. Okay. So, some of their newest products. All right, so they have, looks like quilting cotton. Then shop by department. Block of the Month, wool applique, mixed media products, punch needle supplies, books, embroidery supplies, hand-dyed wools, mill-dyed wools, notions, adhesives, patterns, downloadable patterns, wire holders and displays, threads, needle felting supplies, utility fabrics including muslin, Onsnaburg, and weaver's cloth and batting. Do they not have any fabric? That's weird. Let's take a look at this. This is the only one that seems to have fabric listed. Okay, so they have weaver's cloth, then they have natural muslin. Okay. And this one that I couldn't pronounce. Onsnaburg. Okay, so yeah. It doesn't look like they have quilting fabric. They don't. So I'm wondering if this online store is simply just for embroiderers. We'll go into their patterns and see what they have there. That might tell the tale. Okay, they do have a quilt pattern, printed pattern, or pattern download. Pieced quilt patterns, wool applique patterns. Okay, so they do have quilt patterns, but they don't sell quilting fabric by the looks of things. So I would say they're more into doing applique and embroidery. So here are some of their patterns. Okay, these are fairly standard. I've seen most of these patterns before on other websites. $11 for a pattern, and this is all in Canadian dollars. They have quite a few though to pick from. And can you just download them? Let's just take a look if I click on one and see what comes up. Pattern format. Yes, they're downloadable patterns. Pattern download or printed pattern. So that's good. You can get either. All right. So a good source for patterns, I guess. But really, now they do have batting. Let's take a look at the batting. It's very slow. I don't know if it's my connection today or it's the way their site is designed. Okay, they have Quilter's Touch, Pellon, 100% polyester, $7.99 a meter, I guess that is. And Wrap and Zap batting, premium cotton unbleached is $12.50 a meter. Okay. So not a vast selection. Price-wise, okay. It's not bad, price-wise, for batting. Let's go back. They have books. Let's take a look. I think what they really... Oh, wait. They have a category called fabrics. Maybe I missed this before. Let's check this out and see what this is all about. Nope. It's the same thing that I saw. Now they have panels. Okay, maybe they do, maybe they don't, because I'm clicking on it, but nothing is happening. Let's just pull this down and see what we can find here. Needle felting book, books, quilting books, fabrics, cotton fabrics. Okay, let's go to cotton fabrics. I'm not impressed with their navigation. It's kind of like you're doing a little hunt here. Okay, they have kits, all about bees panel, whole panel, lots of panels. Yeah, they don't really look like they sell anything in terms of quilting cotton. So closest thing they've got are panels. So not really the best place to go if you want to buy fabric. But if you want hand-dyed wools, they're here. Let's just take a look. I have a feeling that this is really a site that's dedicated more to embroidery supplies. And what do they have? Well, they have embroidery needles, dishcloth. Yeah, really? They don't have... Yeah, they're definitely more of an embroidery site, but they really don't have anything you can't get from any other sites by the looks of things. Okay, let's just check out another couple of things here. Mixed media products. That one's kind of intriguing. Let's see what they have. Transfer artist paper. And that's all they have in mixed media. Okay. Anything else here we need to check out? I don't think we need to check out notions or patterns, punch needle supplies. Okay, if you're into punch needle, this might be a place to go. Block of the month programs. Let's take a look at that. It is slow, and I don't think it's my connection. Okay, Tweets and Twinkles block of the month. Again, it's geared towards embroiderers. This new beginnings block of the month. So that looks like it's probably for quilters. Okay, so it says it can be downloaded as individual patterns or ordered in paper format as a complete set. Okay, so basically what you're getting is you're just getting the pattern. You're not getting any supplies with that. So you're on your own when it comes to that kind of thing. Okay, they have courses online. So let's see what they offer. Punch Needle School. All right. They're having a sale on something here. I guess this is all 10 lessons. Okay, this is all about punch needling, and that seems to be the only thing they offer as a class right now. They do have videos, so let's take a look at their videos. Are these instructional? You check out all our videos on YouTube channel. Okay, this doesn't give us much to go by. I guess you can go to YouTube. So if we go to YouTube, let's see what they've got on their channel. And it does take a while to load up here. This could be my connection. Okay, examples of wool applique, needle felting. How many videos do they have? Let's check out their playlists. They don't have any playlists. Videos. They don't have very many videos either, for that matter. Curbside pickup, blowout sale. Yeah, not really that impressive a selection of videos. So let's see about us. What are their shipping policies? I wonder what they charge for shipping. I'm not even sure where they're located, so I have to check that out. All parcels are shipped by Canada Post from Brockville. So they're in Brockville, Ontario. That's east of me by about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Shipping prices are based on flat rate plus additional charges per item. And we do not know what that charge is. I guess when you go to checkout, you'll probably get that kind of thing, I guess. Yeah, my cart's empty, so I'm not going to be able to see anything there. So, my impression of this online store? Well, okay. I'm not impressed, but that's because I'm looking at it from a quilter's point of view. This is definitely geared much more so to embroiderers, I think, and wool applique kind of thing. So if that's your jam, then this might be someplace you'll want to check out. For me, no, I don't think I'll be purchasing anything from them anytime soon. So that brings me to the end of another episode of the Idiot Quilter. And just before I go, I'd like to give you an advance notice that we will be having Craft and Chat 1 week from tomorrow. It'll be December the 1st, Wednesday, December the 1st. That's the first Wednesday of the month, and that's when I always have Craft and Chat. And it'll begin at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's a chance for us to get together. And most of you know this because I sound like a broken record because I've said it so many times, but I may have some new subscribers out there that may want to take advantage of this opportunity. It is a Zoom get together. It's absolutely free, and we just basically get together on Zoom and work on whatever we're working on and chat as we're doing it. And I always find it very relaxing. I always have a good time. I always find it inspiring. I get lots of tips and tricks from other people, and that's what it's all about. So all are welcome. Quilters, sewer, knitters, crocheters, paper crafters, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anything that you're doing that's creative, you're more than welcome to join us. So the link for that is in the show notes below. And those of you that have submitted your email address to me, I will be sending you out your own personal invitation to join us that day. And if you'd like to be on that mailing list as well, all you need to do is send me your email address to my email address, which is in the show notes as well. And just rest assured, this is completely private. I do not sell or give to anybody this information at all. It is simply to let you know when Craft and Chat and what the link is for the Zoom when that occurs. But I always have the link a week before in all of my videos, so you will find it, as I said, in the show notes below. So that's next Wednesday, December the 1st, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you there. See the regulars, and it would be lovely to have a few new people as well. Okay, so that's it for me today. I hope you have a great week. I hope you do something creative. To our American friends, happy Thanksgiving, which, for the rest of us in North America, basically, American Thanksgiving and then Black Friday marks, the beginning of the Christmas season. So we'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye for now.